We're going? Quee, your mic's out, man. We got to get this fixed. Try it again.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Koinos Talk Live. Today, we have a special guest, Von Luton from KoinDX. We'll introduce him in a second. But if you don't already know us, my name is Kui. I am working with Luke Willis here, my co-host, and we're the founders of BurnCoin, a mining pool for Koinos. But today, we're here to talk about KoinDX, the first decentralized exchange on Koinos, which, by the way, is launching. It's called a snapshot, and then we're going to get a mainnet launch announcement date pretty soon. So it's going to be pretty cool to see that. Luke, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. It's always good to do these shows with you. Von Luton, can you hear us?
Yeah, sure.
How are you doing today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
sure.
So tell us a little bit about KoinDX. I think it's you and your co-founder, Decentralized, right? Is that right?
Yeah, me and Decentralized, we're working on this project for a while now. I think, if I'm right, he's also in the chat. He can answer more technical questions if there are any. I think he's happy to answer them.
Sure.
Just as a small information. Yeah, I don't know exactly when we started working on KoinDX. I think it was must be April or March this year. But we already worked together on Koinos Explorer, which is one of the two known explorers out there, which is also open source and is looking for some new maintainers. So if anybody likes to work on a Koinos Explorer.
So does that mean the code is available in GitHub and you can grab it and edit it how you wish?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So, we're regarding KoinDX. We're working on it for a couple of months now, and it's getting mature and mature. At the moment, we're still working on basic functionality, like Luke, I think you said it on Monday. It's basically a lot of Uniswap V2 features which are implemented right now. So swapping, liquidity providing, but we're getting to the interesting features now, which is pretty exciting.
Very cool. So what are those interesting features? What are you working on?
Yeah.
Give us the details.
Sure. I've got plenty. Like we announced today in the Medium post, we talked about KoinDX, for example. One of the super interesting things that will come with the DEX. So, but the most interesting feature for everyone is are the low or zero fees. So this is I think this is the huge topic which we have here on Koinos, since it's a feeless chain. And it's not an easy topic, especially with the DEX, where you have to deal with AMM, so automated market makers, which have to incentivize the liquidity providers. So this is the tricky thing, which basically means getting to zero fees is probably very difficult, since the liquidity providers need an incentivation to provide the liquidity. But the cool thing is, other features of the DEX could be really zero fees without any additional incentives to make, like maybe, let's say, limited order trading or something like that.
So a limit order trading would be something where I can post up a buy or sell that will only get executed if someone else is a counterparty trader, right?
yes, if a certain price is in this range where you want to buy. For example, you want to trade coin for $50. Now it's at 24. The trade will be made if coin reaches the price.
Would that be something like a peer-to-peer trade almost?
It's made by, or it's going through the smart contract. So
Okay.
like it's not P2P or OTC or.
It's still going through the pool though, right? Like the liquidity pool, just at a certain price.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, like the contract is not written yet, so I can't.
Okay.
That's all right.
As long as we get, I think people will be very interested in having a order book style trading, just because it's more familiar with people who are trading stocks or using a centralized exchange compared to a DEX.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to highlight what you talked about because you mentioned the KNDX token, and how that's going to be the way where you offer free or reduced price trades, right? That's really interesting to me because when we're talking about Koinos, we're talking about a feeless, free to use environment. But a DEX is inherently something where you have to have tokens to play, right? It's not just a place where you can come and use the DApp and maybe get a free NFT or play a game or post on social or something like that, right? It's intended for people who hold tokens, much like Burncoin. It really has a specific set of users in mind compared with a lot of other dApps that I think we'll start to see crop up on Koinos. But inherently, the mana system of Koinos allows you to perform transactions for free, and that includes calling the DEX smart contracts. But I know, in addition to gas fees on other blockchains, a DEX usually takes, what is it, 0.3%? I'm sure it depends on which one you're using, but some fee on your trade. Can you give us more information on the economics of what are the fees normally, and then if you have any details about maybe how much KNDX you need or how much you need to stake and what that does with governance and the reduction in fees on trades?
Yeah. At the moment, it's the idea is that there are 0.25% fees, where 0.08 go into treasury, like it's part of the like a security fund,
Sure,
something like this.
And
the rest, the 0.17% go back to the liquidity providers. And the amount of discount that we can that can be made is in the part of the treasury. So, and it works basically, we have two possibilities, or our users have the possibility to get the discount by staking KNDX, where they also get rewards in form of KNDX. And we will probably also provide a subscription-based way to get these contracts, to get these discounts, sorry, which is in the form of an NFT. So, yeah, these are some of the functionalities that come with it, and in especially the KNDX token is in this way not only a governance token for the decision processes, it's also a way to get the discounts. And you can, as a user, you can decide what you want to do. If you want to get KNDX, or if you just say, okay, I will trade this month a lot, so a NFT is the way to go.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I want to ask you, And sometimes the question comes in the middle of listening. Other questions formed, so I actually lost it. But as far, okay, here we go. Koinos is a zero fee blockchain. But how do you think people will be impacted by the fact that they themselves would be able to basically perform trades with no network fee? So they can make trades using mana, and inherently the blockchain doesn't charge a fee. So would you say that KoinDX will be basically the cheapest blockchain DEX that there is, because you're only imposing a basically kind of a liquidity provider fee?
I think this is the way. That's our goal. I mean, like we have the possibility to be the cheapest DEX out there, and this is what we, want to become. And like a user, if you also, if you stake KNDX, we will also pay the mana bill.
Oh,
cool. Wow.
So mana is a huge topic, and we want to create a great user experience. This is, and I think fees are always in any form are a problem for a user, because it always feels bad to pay fees.
Right.
Yeah, this is it's interesting because if you eliminate a network fee like Koinos has done, then effectively it seems like you will be on par and competitive with almost a centralized exchange, because they have very low operating costs just for the fact that there are no native blockchain fees on there. I also want to ask, I think you guys have actually hosted the entire KoinDX site on a decentralized server. They call it StackOS. Is that right?
Yeah, fun. That's right. Basically, we just changed it like I think last week or the week before, because we just still have an a AWS server, which is not used anyway. But before, that's correct. We use StackOS, and we want to get there again because it's, I don't know, we love decentralization, and it's a super cool project.
Very cool. Yeah, well, honestly, I think that you guys are doing amazing work. I'm excited for, regardless of whether the front end hosting is decentralized yet, just the emphasis on the user experience and the ability to make free trades and have your mana paid for through staking KNDX, and it feels like we're in the middle of a revolution. I don't want to get too heady for everybody here, but everybody who's trading on Ethereum and every other network with fees, the potential for Koinos to be the chosen network for day traders or any kind of high volume trader is pretty big. So exciting to see KoinDX be at the middle of that.
He's our Daryl Lang giving a wave to us. So that's the other co-founder to KoinDX. You make a really good point. People who trade on Ethereum, they pay massive fees, and they've been trying to figure out how to get on other blockchains. It's very likely that if your fees are just as low as possible on Koinos, that you may end up finding something like a bridge where someone's bringing over Bitcoin, bringing over Ethereum, and trading on this side. But obviously, that would require somebody to actually bridge over those tokens first, which is still something that's being worked on by people out there who I don't know. So I don't know if there's a bridge coming or not. But I assume that eventually at one point, many blockchains would be interconnected with bridges, such as Wormhole that connects ETH to Solana and all those other blockchains.
Right.
I actually think this is a possible scenario, and super exciting. I mean, if the chain bridges their assets to Koinos, they have such a huge opportunity to trade and create their own DeFi system here, or use the existing infrastructure. So it's, I don't know, it could be really huge.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting to see all the developments that are happening on Koinos right now. Very excited for KoinDX. As far as the future plans of where you're going now, you mentioned in your announcement the concept of a launch pad. We didn't give a whole lot of details, so you might not have this yet, but can you share any more thoughts on what that is? What is a launch pad for KoinDX, and what's your vision there?
A launch pad is basically it's basically a service where you can launch new tokens, and it's basically a way to distribute your tokens if you're a project which creates a new dApp on Koinos. We want to provide the service where these projects can distribute their token and get their needed funds to build their idea, and also by that grow the ecosystem again. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the advent of smart contracts, you see all kinds of new ERC20 tokens come out on Ethereum all the time. It's one of it probably is the most common type of smart contract that gets launched, probably seconded by NFT collections. So yeah, definitely going to be a lot of demand for this on Koinos, I would imagine. So
just jumping topics a little bit. I found this question that Ron asked, the COO of Koinos, in our last interview, pretty interesting. But I wish we had asked it of other people. But how did you first get involved in blockchain? Can you tell us a little bit of story about that?
Oh, my first look into crypto was in, I think it must have been 2017, because there was, if you remember, there was this huge Bitcoin hype when, I don't know, I think Bitcoin got above 20K for the first time or something like that happened. And yeah, that got my attention too. And that's when I bought my first share of a BTC. But it was super interesting because like this whole blockchain topic was nothing I had on my radar before, and I really didn't know about. So it's super. I mean, I guess we all got this moment when we learned about blockchain and went down this rabbit hole. But even, I don't know, after a half year, it got boring and I didn't really do a lot in the space until I started in 21 again, and found Koinos super quickly. And this is, I don't know, it was, since then it's super intense. I think I'm watching the Telegram channel daily, watching CoinPress podcast, or listening to it, and watching all the content you guys are creating, which is super awesome. And I like you said before, Luke, it's getting super exciting. We are making huge developments. Snapshot is near, mainnet is coming, and the community is growing. It's super exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thanks for being a part of the content too.
I remember when we first joined in 2021, and you've just been a big part of the community. You're always there answering questions and helping people out to understand Koinos better, to understand some of the concept of decentralization. What is your take on, the world getting decentralized more and more every day? I know you guys are trying to be as decentralized as possible. It's a very important topic to you, but how does decentralization, what does it mean to you in terms of how the world's moving forward with blockchain?
It's a super interesting question, and I think there are many answers for it. My answer would be decentralization is a great concept, which is sometimes difficult to handle because centralized infrastructure is like the easiest way to govern things. But decentralization also means kind of democratic values somehow. Everything is shared, or people can enter the network, people can exit the network, make their own decisions. And I think even if we think about blockchain, I just see the blockchain spreading all over the world. Like we also see what's super interesting at the moment is that we see small regions everywhere distributed on the world that accept like crypto, that are some Bitcoin beaches exist anywhere.
A Bitcoin beach?
Yeah,
that's the first time I ever hear of that. What is a Bitcoin beach?
Access to the beach if you hold Bitcoin.
No, it's a small region. I think it's in El Salvador or somewhere. There's a Bitcoin community.
I didn't even know that existed. There's so many different worlds within crypto that I'm not even aware of.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Simple answer is just it's growing and it's super fascinating.
Yeah, fun to be a part of it. So we had a couple good questions in the chat here. Why don't we get to some of those? There was one from John Doe saying, so should I provide liquidity or head for the burn pool now? So many options already. We all have our own biases here, so I don't know if you're going to get a clear answer, but Von Luton, why don't you put your spin on it?
Yeah, both are great projects.
Well, as far as liquidity goes, I was talking to Von Luton earlier today, and I deposited about 200,000 coin PVHP, VHP equivalent onto the burn pool. So you guys are free to trade and try out KoinDX. Trade against it, take your coins, move it to the pool, arbitrage if you wish, and play around with that. I mean, we really, really want you guys to play around with KoinDX burn pool, use the two pools against each other, make some profit on burnpool.com, take it, move it to KoinDX, watch the triggers on, practice, see how you enjoy it, use the system, and you have any feedback on a better UI, then go ahead and message myself for BurnCoin or Luke Willis for BurnCoin stuff, and Von Luton for KoinDX stuff. Actually, in fact, are you going to have an update soon for the KoinDX? There's going to be several new exciting things that you're going to improve, right?
Yeah, we will work on several updates. Like as you mentioned, this our announcement today was not super detailed, so we will give further updates for KoinDX, for the Launchpad. We are working on. If you've seen our landing page was redesigned, we are already working on the redesign of the web app, like the swap itself. And yeah, we are always open for feedback. Would love to hear your opinion, guys.
Cool.
Always welcome.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure that goes for everybody. If anybody's using this on testnet or mainnet when it launches, send over your feedback. We're all in Discord, and what your feedback really helps improve the product. So yeah, Lee's asking about the launch plans for KoinDX. Kind of already addressed that. No timeline yet, but it's coming. Governance. How will the governance token work for KoinDX? So this is a good one, Spurgeon. I know Von Luton, in the article you talked about the KoinDX token, which I'm assuming the launch is going to be some kind of IDO or similar mechanism. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're also going to have staking for reducing fees and that kind of thing. How is that going to work with the balance between staking and voting in governance and that kind of thing? What are your thoughts?
Well, also for if you want to take part in governance, that requires you to stake your KNDX also, and then this is the staked amount of KNDX is equivalent to your voting power then.
Gotcha. Okay.
So stake weighted voting.
Yeah.
Cool. Good deal. All right. Any other questions in the chat? I'm not seeing any. I think we got through most of them.
Yeah, there's one more about this one. We'll just answer real quick. So with decentralized server, basically means that you're not using a service like AWS to host a website. That is true. We're seeing more decentralized options out there. They're still panning out how they work, but we're definitely seeing more and more options out there. And I'm really excited to see one day where we can maximize decentralization as much as possible. It's a small step for us to kind of move, but I think we'll eventually get to a world where there are more options for you available. Just like Koinos is now a more decentralized option for people out there, as opposed to the current stack of blockchains like Solana, which,
Right.
leave comments out for that one. So anyone has any more questions, feel free to blow them in the chat. And Von Luton, any closing thoughts you have to give us?
Yeah, be hyped. Koinos is real. Mainnet
It is
soon.
absolutely real.
Yeah, we know. We've been developing on it. Cool. Von Luton, thanks for coming in. For everybody who's listening, thanks for coming today. We're excited to have the snapshot coming up October 31st. So make sure you're ready for that. Have your coin tokens in a self-custody wallet on the Ethereum network. If you don't know what that means, hit us up on Discord and Telegram and we'll talk you through it. But yeah, in the meantime, Kui, go ahead.
I just want to plug your shirt right now because I'm wearing the limited edition Coin Press Podcast T-shirt with the hat, and I'm digging these emblems on the shoulder. They're awesome, and you also get an NFT to go with it. Likely the first NFT on Koinos.
Yeah, it might be. It might. There, somebody could sneak one in before me, but it's gonna be right there, probably day one. But yeah, the shirt and the hat and all that's available as a bundle on shop.thecoinpress.com. It will only be available until the mainnet launch date. So that's right around the corner. If you're interested in snagging an NFT, this is the best deal you're going to get. Once mainnet launches, you'll be able to mint out any leftover NFTs out of the 50. But it will not be, you won't get the shirt and the hat and the bundle. So
it's a cool shirt. Wears true to size. I'm wearing a medium right now. It's actually one of my favorite shirts just because of these shoulder emblems. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks for the plug, Kui. All right. Cool. All right. Well, Daniel, really appreciate you coming on. Kui, this has been great.
Absolutely. By the way, next week, Tuesday, we're going to have the engineering team from Koinos Group on the show. So you get to meet Nate, Michael, and Steve, who's been working diligently to get this blockchain up and running for everyone. So stay tuned for Tuesday.
Yeah, should be fun.
Cool.
All right, Daniel, take care.
See y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.